Hello everyone, welcome to Biochemistry Simplified. In our last lecture, we discussed page and STS page, and today we are going to discuss another important electrophoretic technique, that is agarose gel electrophoresis and the blotting technique. In page, we are basically using page for protein analysis and agarose gel electrophoresis for nucleic acid analysis. So agarose gel electrophoresis is done for mainly for nucleic acid analysis. These are the nucleic acids. It may be DNA, it may be RNA, and the nucleic acid is extracted and denatured. Means it has to be in a single stranded form. Normally DNA is double stranded, but it has to be converted to single stranded form by using the denaturants. So DNA or RNA both are single stranded, means they are denatured. Next, another thing is that they are negatively charged and there is a uniform charge density. So all these fragments of DNA or RNA, let us take for example DNA. All these DNA fragments, they are negatively charged, they are all single stranded and they have a uniform charge density. So when these fragments are subjected to electrophoresis on agarose gel, all of them will move towards anode because they are all negatively charged, and they will move towards anode depending on their size. Their electrophoretic mobility depends on the size. So they are separated purely on the basis of size. Thus, the smallest will be the fastest and the largest fragment will be the slowest. So they are separated purely on the basis of size. Now the DNAs have been separated, but they have to be visualized. To visualize the DNA, we use dye. The dyes that were used in protein, the dye that was used in protein, CBB was the main dye for visualizing the protein fragments, the proteins, and BPB was a tracking dye. But here we have the dye ethidium bromide, acridin orange, and cybergreen. These are the three dyes that we use for DNA also and for RNA also. Ethidium bromide, it is excited by UV light, it gives orange fluorescence. Acridin orange, excited by blue light, gives bluish green fluorescence in DNA and orange fluorescence in RNA. Cyber green, it is excited by blue light and it gives green fluorescence. So ethidium bromide orange, cyber green green, green green. So that will be easy to remember. Excited by UV light, excited by blue light, right? In acridin orange, there's a difference in DNA and RNA fluorescence. Excited by blue light, DNA bluish green, RNA orange fluorescence. So that is a thing you have to remember. So these are the dyes that we use. When we use the dyes, all the DNA fragments will be visible. Even RNA fragments will be visible using the dye. So these DNA fragments are visible, but suppose we are interested in a single DNA fragment, means we are looking for a specific sequence. Means we have extracted the DNA from a cell, and we want to know whether this DNA which we have extracted is containing a specific sequence or not. So after it has been fragmented and denatured and subjected to electrophoresis on agarose gel, where is that sequence present? Whether it is present or not. And to find out that sequence, we use a probe. A probe is something which goes and binds to the specific sequence, the sequence of our interest. So the probe is synthetic oligonucleotide probe. And let us suppose this is a sequence which we are looking for. So the probe has a complementary sequence to this. It can be an RNA probe which binds to the sequence of DNA. And remember, binding of DNA to DNA, DNA to RNA, or even RNA to RNA, that is rarely, but still if RNA binds to RNA, or DNA to DNA or DNA to RNA. Whatever happens, it always follows the Watson-Crick base pairing rules, and the base pairing is always anti-parallel. So if the sequence is 5' to 3' ACAGT, here it will be ACUGU. So this is the sequence of RNA. We can also use a cDNA probe. cDNA stands for complementary DNA, and the sequence of complementary DNA will be from 5' to 3'. It is read from 5' to 3' direction. ACTGT. I've written it in 3' to 5' direction so that you can easily match it with this sequence, but actually it's read in 5' to 3' direction. Okay, so ACTGT, that is a sequence of cDNA. So for DNA, we use two type of synthetic oligonucleotide probe, that is RNA probe or cDNA probe, which is complementary to the sequence of our interest. For RNA, we use cDNA probe. So two type of probes are there. For DNA, RNA probe or cDNA probe, and for RNA, cDNA probe. So these are the probes. Now, these probes have to be made visible. To make these probes visible, we use some tags or flags or labels like fluorescent label or radio label or radioactive probe, enzyme tag probe or biotin tag probe. The same tags or flags or labels that were used for antibody probe, which was for identifying a protein. So that is how we analyze the DNA or RNA. So PAGE and SGS page is basically for analysis of proteins. Agarose is for analysis of nucleic acids. Now this gel is removed and we spread a nitrocellulose or nylon membrane over this gel. Let us see it in a horizontal direction. This is a gel with the separated DNA fragments. Over this gel we put a nitrocellulose or nylon membrane and then we press it. As we press the nitrocellulose or nylon membrane over the gel, the DNA fragments migrate to the membrane, and the same electrophoretic pattern is now blotted onto the nitrocellulose membrane. Let us see it from the front. Okay, so the DNA fragments which were originally present on the gel are now present on the, now they are strongly bound to the nitrocellulose or nylon membrane. Now on this membrane we can use a dye or a probe. Whatever we do, we'll get a long lasting impression. So this is called blotting technique. So whatever dye or probe or whatever we do on the nitrocellulose or nylon membrane, we get a long lasting impression. So this is called blotting technique. And the blotting technique was developed in 1975. The scientist who developed it and published it was a British biologist called Edwin Southern. So the DNA analysis using blotting technique is called Southern blot, after the name of the scientist who developed it. Southern blot for DNA analysis. Then the same technique was applied for RNA. It was given the name Northern blot. The same technique, when it was applied for protein analysis, it was given the name Western blot. So Southern blot for DNA, Northern for RNA, and Western for protein. Original name Southern is coming from the name of the scientist. That is why S is capital here. This is the name of the scientist who developed it for the very first time, and he developed it for DNA. Later on it was applied for RNA and protein, so they were given the names they were given the name in reference to the original blotting technique, like Northern blot for RNA and Western for protein, right? So these are the blotting techniques. So we have discussed the blotting techniques and the agarose gel electrophoresis. Let us now quickly revise the special points that we have to remember. Proteins, the dye for staining is CBB, and for tracking, the tracking dye is BPB. In nucleic acids, there are three dyes: ethidium bromide, acridine orange, and cyber green. And the point to remember is ethidium bromide excited by UV light gives orange fluorescence. Acridine orange excited by blue light gives blue fluorescence in DNA and orange in RNA. And cyber green excited by blue light gives green fluorescence. Okay, so UV orange, blue, blue and orange, blue, green. Right? So these are the dyes. In case of probes, for proteins we use antibody probe, and for nucleic acids we use synthetic oligonucleotide probe. Now this synthetic oligonucleotide probe can be RNA or cDNA. And the probes are tagged with the fluorescence or radio labeled probe, enzyme tagged probe, or biotin tagged probe. In case of radio labeled probe, generally S35 for antibody probe and P32 for nucleotide probe. So remember, sulfur for proteins, phosphorus for nucleic acids. Sulfur proteins, phosphorus for nucleic acids generally. And enzyme tagged probe, there are two important enzymes. HRP converts TMP to blue product. Alkaline phosphatase, that is ALP, converts PNPP to yellow product. HRP stands for horseradish peroxidase. TMP stands for tetramethylbenzidine. ALP stands for alkaline phosphatase, and PAPP stands for para-nitrophenyl phosphate. So these are the enzyme tag probes. Biotin tag probe has a very strong bonding with avidin and streptavidin. Southern blotting for DNA analysis, northern blotting for RNA analysis, western blotting for proteins. And original name is coming from the name of the scientist Edwin Southern, who developed it in 1975. So these are the blotting techniques. So these are the special points to remember. Let us stop here. In the next lecture, we'll be discussing another important technique of electrophoresis. Thank you.